Good morning, children. It's nice to know that we are together in the beginning of a very beautiful week. And I am so excited to share with you some awesome books that I have read for this very first episode of our book talk. These books contain moral lesson and at the same time are enjoyable to read. So without further ado, let me welcome you to our very first episode of BSCS Library and Media Center Book Talk. Number 1 on the list is the book entitled The Carrot Seed by Ruth Cross. I will be reading it aloud, and together with me, please also read with your mind. Alright? So let's begin. The Carrot Seed. It's written by Ruth Cross and illustrated by Crockett Johnson. A little boy planted a carrot seed. His mother said, "I'm afraid it won't come up." His father also said, "I'm afraid it won't come up." And his big brother said, "It won't come up." Everybody in his family believed that nothing would come up. Every day, the little boy pulled up the weeds around the seed and sprinkled the ground with water. So he does it in order to make sure that the carrot will be healthy. Alright, so let's continue. But nothing came up. And nothing came up. Everyone kept saying it wouldn't come up. Oh, so the boy must be lonely now. He doesn't find any support from his family members. What would you feel if you experienced the way the boy did? Alright, let's continue. But he still pulled up the weeds around it every day and sprinkled the ground with water. And then one day, there is something seems to be popping out from the soil. Can you guess what is it? Alright. A carrot came up. Just as the little boy had known it would be. And that's the end of our story, The Carrot Seed. The carrot, as you can see, grew even bigger and taller than the boy. What a very fascinating story we have just read. The Carrot Seed by Ruth Cross. Now I would like to ask you, dear students, what do you think of the story? What are your thoughts about it? And what do you think is the moral lesson of the story? Children, I will be happy if you type in your thoughts down in the comment section together with your grade and section. I will be reading them later. And on the next book talk, I will flash the most beautiful answer on the screen and shout it out together with your name. Alright? I hope you find this book meaningful. And just as the little boy in the story did, just believe in yourself and everything that you believe you will achieve. And everything will follow. You will eventually achieve them, even if no one believes. Alright, so thank you for listening, and I think we can now move on to our next book entitled A Pocket Full of Kisses. A Pocket Full of Kisses by Audrey Penn. Chester Raccoon sat in a hollow of a tree stump and pouted. "Please, can we give him back?" he asked his mother. "I'll be really good if we can give him back." Mrs. Raccoon smiled tenderly. "You're already really good, Chester. But I'm afraid no matter how good you are, we can't give him back. Besides, I thought you like having a little brother." "I did like it at first," admitted Chester. But now he plays with my toys and swings on my swings and reads my books. Then he pulls my tail and talks to my friends and follows me everywhere I go. Mrs. Raccoon lifted Chester onto her lap and smoothed out his worried, furry forehead. "That's what little brothers do," she explained in a very motherly tone. "It's no different than sharing the woods or sharing the stream or sharing the food we find. Ronnie wants to be like you." Mrs. Raccoon placed Chester on the ground and smiled at him with the soft, loving eyes he knew so well. "I think someone needs a kissing hand," she said in a voice that was warm and inviting. She took Chester's hand in her own and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning over, she kissed him right in the middle of his palm. Chester felt the warmth of that kiss rush from his hand, up his arm, and into his heart. And when he pressed his hand to his cheek, he could hear his mother's word in his head. "Mommy loves you," they said. "Mommy loves you." Chester grinned so wide, the tips of his silky black mask crinkled upward. Even his cheeks flushed to a primrose pink. He was the happiest raccoon in the forest. Then, in the blink of a moment, all the joy went out of the little raccoon. His pink cheeks paled, and a stream of tiny hot tears felt like spring rained down his sad little face. Even his silky black mask drooped as he watched his mother reach down, take Ronnie's hand in her own, open his tiny fingers into a fan, and kiss his brother right in the middle of his palm. "That was my kissing hand," Chester gasped in the saddest voice his mother had ever heard. "Why did you give Ronnie my kissing hand? Don't you love me anymore?" "Oh, Chester," cried Mrs. Raccoon, "of course I love you. Then how come you gave the baby my kissing hand?" asked Chester. Mrs. Raccoon gathered Chester up in her arms and gave him a great, big, comforting hug. "I would never give Ronnie your kissing hand," she assured him gently. "That was his kissing hand. Now you each have one of your own." Chester wiped away his tears and settled in his mother's lap. "If you give both of us kissing hands, won't you run out?" Mrs. Raccoon laughed. "Would you like to hear a story?" she asked Chester. "About kisses?" "About stars," said Mrs. Raccoon. "Every night, just before the sun goes down, it reaches out with its rays and touches every star in the universe. One by one, the stars light up and shine down upon us. Even on nights we can see the stars. They're up there sparkling away. No matter how many stars fill the sky, the sun will never run out of light, and its rays will never stop reaching out to them. That's the way it is with kissing hands. When somebody loves you, their kisses are like the sun's rays, always there and always shining. No matter how many kissing hands I give you and Ronnie, I will never ever run out." "But you're right about one thing," Mrs. Raccoon told Chester. Ronnie's big brother widened his eyes and looked surprised. "What's that?" he asked his mother. "You are the big brother, and that deserves something extra special." Mrs. Raccoon put Ronnie on a swing, then took Chester's right hand in hers and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning over, she kissed him right in the middle of his palm. "That kiss is for your pocket," she told him. "Take good care of it and keep it as a spare. You never know when a big brother might need a little extra care." Chester hugged his mother and romped away. "I love you too," he seemed to say. And that's the end of a very, very cute story we have just heard. Isn't it wonderful to have little brothers or sisters, or relatives, or even friends that act as your little siblings? They're so cute, and they like to imitate everything that we say and do. That is why we have to be good to them. We have to be a good role model to them. We have to be generous in giving them the love and attention that they need. Help and guide them when they need to. Guide them as much as you can, even when it comes to school-related activities. Instead of being jealous, love them wholeheartedly. And for sure, they will love you back. Did you find this book wonderful? Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. And let's see who's going to be shouted out together with their most beautiful comment on the next episode of Book Talk. What will you do if you discover that you have a disease and your days are numbered? Will you cry and be hopeless? Will you fly to places and travel with your loved ones? Will you spend your remaining time eating your favorite food? Are you going to spend your money for material things? Are you going to be faithful and religious? Or cherish the moment with your loved ones and friends and share to the world what a dying person can do to inspire the living ones as they go on with their lives? This book was made from a series of Tuesdays during the remaining time of an old and dying professor with his former university student, and also at the same time author of this book, Mitch Albom. I discovered this book many years ago since I was still in college, but wasn't able to finish it until such time that I asked my best friend what is the perfect book to fit with Teacher's Month and also at the same time be the main content of our book talk. She recommended me this book entitled Tuesdays with Morrie. And then thereafter, I realized that it's gonna be perfect for the book talk. So I immediately pulled it out from the library shelf and read it. It really made me cry a lot and made me inspired because everything in this book is such a wonderful piece. You will be able to learn many life lessons as you read this book. So to end this book talk, I would like you to watch this video and please appreciate its contents. What are your thoughts regarding this very first episode of our book talk? Please type them in the comment section down below and the most beautiful thought will be featured in our next episode. So that's all for our book talk. Goodbye and see you. Keep safe.